With Halo Infinite Season 2 finally here, I think it's a good time to take a look back on the events of Season 1 and rank them, to see what worked and what didn't. So, what is an event? It turns out that 343 may have a different definition than you and me. According to this season outcome report, there were 6 events during the season: 20th Anniversary, HCS Spotlight, Winter Contingency, Cyber Showdown, Tactical Ops, and Fracture Tenrai. A couple of disclaimers. I play a lot, but I consider myself a pretty casual player. My ranking is completely subjective, and my list could be completely different than yours. And with that, let's get right into it. Number 6. The worst event of the season was HCS Spotlight. This took place from December 14th to December 20th, 2021. There was no reward tree for this event. Instead, to commemorate the Halo Championship Series Rayleigh event, double XP challenges involving playing Ranked were added to players' decks. This was the worst event because of its focus on the Ranked playlist. Ranked is not a mode I enjoy to play, and casual players would likely agree with me. What I remember happening is a bunch of players wasting their challenge swaps trying to reroll to anything that wasn't ranked, or players leaving ranked games because they weren't getting the game tapes that they needed for specific challenges. I'm not going to talk about every weekly reward during these events, but considering how it was the only item that was technically part of this event, I think it's worth talking about in this case. The scoreboard backdrop was the ultimate challenge reward after getting 5 ranked arena wins, and just like everything else in this event, it was underwhelming and honestly kinda lame. So underwhelming that I'm not going to include a picture of it, because if you want to be underwhelmed, go and look it up for yourself. Overall, this event was unfun and frustrating, and likely would have been better received if the challenge swapping was explained better, and it wasn't so close to launch. If you weren't around for launch, everyone was hard-pressed to do challenges because they were the only meaningful source of XP, and still are. But having to grind through Ranked was a real punishment for some players. Number 5 is the 20th Anniversary event. It's barely fair to call this an event. There was no event pass, no limited time modes, and no double XP challenges. Instead, this event was the 20th anniversary of Halo and Xbox, running from November 15th to the 22nd, 2021. It was truly about the surprise release of Halo Infinite's multiplayer at an earlier date than the campaign. This event saw players earn an armor, AR, and Warthog coating, a weapon charm, some nameplates, and a backdrop just by signing in during the first week. And for that reason, they're probably the most widely obtained items out of any event. The only reason that this event is above HCS Spotlight is because of these rewards. And the reason it's below everything else is because I don't consider the launch content of Halo Infinite to be part of this event. Also, the serious lack of launch playlist does not help my opinion. So that wraps up the 2 events that weren't really events. And now we're into the real events of Season 1. Things with event passes and limited time modes. And the worst one is no doubt number 4, Fracture Tenrai. Fracture Tenrai was themed around samurai armors that don't exist canonically in the Halo universe. Instead, these alternate dimension fractures let 343 be creative without worrying about being unfaithful to the design of the Halo universe. While the concept is awesome, the execution of this event was not. Fractures are season-long events that appear throughout multiple weeks. We were given 6 weeks of opportunities to level up this pass and earn 30 free rewards. The rewards were not well received initially. 10 of the rewards were XP grants, and 6 of them were challenge swaps. This made up over half of the items in the pass. After players voiced their frustrations on how the pass felt padded, 343 changed the pass to only include the XP grants and challenge swaps that were earnable during the first week, and changed the rest out to be more interesting rewards. As for progression, these event passes are tied to event challenges, and these event challenges were tied to Fiesta. I think Fiesta is a fine limited time mode, but there were 2 problems. 1, once they added Fiesta as a permanent playlist, it stopped feeling special as part of the event. And 2, Having challenges tied to a mode as random as Fiesta was incredibly frustrating. Overall, the Tenrai rewards were really cool, but after 6 weeks over 6 months, the event felt exhausting and boring to participate in. Number 3 is Winter Contingency. I had a hard time deciding whether to put this above or below Fracture Tenrai, and although I don't think Winter Contingency was spectacular, Tenrai's shortcomings made it rank lower. Winter Contingency ran from December 21st, 2021 to January 4th, 2022. The event featured a 10-item event pass, including some armor pieces and festive emblems and coatings. The rewards for this event were pretty great, but the means of earning them were not. Every other event this season had progression of the pass tied to challenges. Winter Contingency's rewards were awarded once a day for completing a match. Although this could be considered more accessible, if you missed 5 of the 14 days, you would not be able to complete the pass. There's arguably no worse pass to have this system to be a part of, because the dates of this event meant it ran through Christmas, when most people can't or aren't concerned with playing every day. Winter Contingency also did not have a game mode tied to it. In all honesty, I ended up playing a versus bot match once a day and then logging off because there was nothing else to keep me interested. It's honestly kind of disappointing and sad that the third best event, the bronze event, leading the top 50% events, was just a Christmas coating and some bot matches. Number 2 is Tactical Ops. Tactical Ops was an all-around great event. Although a certain item would suggest it was meant for Season 2, it ended up being one of the best events part of Season 1. First and foremost, the expansion of the Tactical Slayer playlist is great. Sidekicks, Commandos, Manglers, and Stalker Rifles are all really fun additions to the Tactical Slayer pool. The cosmetics in this pass were also awesome. It was our first helmet and one of our more anticipated coatings. The only real problem with this event was the backsmack challenges and the weapon-specific challenges that made you hope that you got into the right game mode. Something that could be considered an upside or a downside is that after the event ended, the Tactical Slayer variant stayed. But I don't know about you all, but I wish the BR was weighted a little heavier in the playlist. The number 1 best event of the season is hands down Cyber Showdown. This event saw not 1, but 2 armor effects that could have totally been in the store, but they weren't. Not only was the cosmetic pass pretty good for this event, but the limited time mode was a total knockout. Attrition was the new game mode added to this event. While I don't have any footage of Attrition, I played it a lot during the event. Essentially, it was a round-based elimination team slayer. Each team started with 8 lives, and when you ran out, you could still revive your teammates through their AIs. But if both teams were out, then a death zone akin to Battle Royale mode spawned in and forced players to the center of the map. Playing with friends and getting super aggressive was the most enjoyable way to play this mode. The rush for power weapons at the start of each round was exciting because of how impactful each item felt during those short rounds. Since the end of Cyber Showdown, we have not seen attrition again. And while I would love to see it return if Halo Infinite ever adds a rotating playlist, I'll be in the minority when I say that I enjoyed that it went away. For these events, I think it's important that there are limited time modes, and attrition could not have been any more perfect. And that is every Season 1 Heroes of Reach event ranked. Overall, I think this season was pretty weak in terms of events. But after the final 2 events, Cyber Showdown and Tactical Ops, 343 has really seemed to find their stride in what makes good events in terms of modes and cosmetics. Season 2 is finally here. With new events coming throughout the season, I am excited and optimistic to see what they add. And let's just hope that this Fracture event is a little more fun than the last one. We also have all new story events to look forward to. I just hope that soon, Halo Infinite can become the game that we all so badly want it to be. Events are an essential part of the live service model. It keeps players engaged throughout the entirety of the season. Season 1 did not have enough for 6 months. We'll have to wait and see how much content Season 2 has. Let's hope it's enough until Forge comes out. And that's it. If you'd like, please like, subscribe, and comment. I like talking about Halo and I want to keep doing it. And with that, peace.